Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you a really cool no mythic team you can use for literally every single level of this faction assault in Duergaroth, from the easiest level right up to level 500. I call it my Invincibles team because if used correctly, you need an absolutely obscene amount of bad luck to lose any fight with this team, even on the hardest levels, even if you're a newer player to the game. Now, first things first, if you like, you can grab tier 1 from the shop. This will give you a potion of enchantment amongst other things. All your allies start enchanted at the start of each and every battle for this event only. But bear in mind, if you have your horde level 100 or above in this faction, you will already have one of those stored, so no need to buy that tier. Unless you're going to buy more tiers, in which case you do have to buy them in order. For example, you want this weapon at tier 4. Memories of Stone. It's not actually too bad. Drain 2 mana from all enemies, boosted by stone blocks, and destroy magic +1 gems of a chosen colour, with full effect. So you can actually pick someone on your team, and if that colour is abundant that they use, you can actually charge them up really quickly. My voice sounds a bit funny sometimes, just because I'm trying to stifle coughs, which are happening pretty much all the time. Now onto the team itself. Now this is my classic Invincibles lineup. Mang, Charlestoni in 2x Gargoyle. If you don't have 2x Gargoyle, there are options. My voice is going a bit funny sometimes. It's because I'm trying to stifle coughs pretty much constantly due to this cold, whatever it is I've got. But anyway, yes, Mang, Charlestoni, 2x Gargoyle. If you don't have 2x Gargoyle, you can pop in another troop, but it does have to be construct. That is super important. That's to benefit Charlestoni. Now, if you have the Fool, that's actually a very good troop to pop in case you are missing a second Gargoyle. Let's go to it there. It jumbles the board and the enemy team, and there's a 7% chance of an extra turn for each brown gem on the board. Now, it's most likely there's going to be a lot of brown on the board when we get to cast this. You can even get it so it's actually guaranteed. And the reason you can do that sometimes, and it's beneficial, is because not only do we inflict a random status effect on a random enemy when an ally casts a spell, and this casts when we do this, but the likelihood is you can make things happen, like you might get a random skull hit and things like that. And with our high-powered attack on our Mang, things like that can be really, really beneficial. Really good. So I do like the Fool. Sometimes I had it with the tower in there, but I don't like this in this particular lineup because it creates gargoyle gems, which we can't actually guarantee exploding. I mean, gargoyle does explode 2 gems, but you're certainly not guaranteeing taking out those gargoyle gems. So I'd definitely recommend the Fool over something like the tower. And you don't want something like the Moon either, because it does inflict lycanthropy, but again, for the same reason, it creates lycanthropy gems, and there's no guarantee that we can remove those lycanthropy gems ourselves. The other option is very good indeed, and that's Zernabog. You can have Zernabog at the bottom, creates 10 brown gems, explodes gems, but conjures a dust storm when its turn begins, which is a constant slew of brown. Really good. And if you don't have Zernabog, then just throw in a second Charlestoni. Really, really cool. Right, but let's roll with this team. The banner for this, +2 brown, +1 red, -1 blue petrified banner from Hellcrag. And I'll just explain why the traits work so well with this. Not only do you get stone skin, reduce damage from scars by 50% anyway, but all constructs start with 50% mana, which is the whole team. Impact is useful for this. This one is actually no good at all. Anti-magic sphere is handy. Tactician boosts up our power, which is always good. But rock solid is absolutely essential for this. Think of how much brown we're going to be getting with Charlestoni. It's going to be happening absolutely constantly, and we get a barrier when matching brown gems, making excuse me, making it very safe indeed. You can have Tree of Knowledge or Stone Mastery. We are getting plenty of brown anyway, and due to the amount of times we're changing the board, you will get random drops of green sometimes, giving us enchant. So I actually like it with Tree of Knowledge and Fortitude. Right, so let's just do a quick series of battles on the lower levels for this. Then I'll jump to the faction itself, level 500, and show how it works there. So we can get the weapon up if you like, or we can get Charlestoni ready. That potion of enchantment means she's ready ever so quick. You may as well do something like that. She takes someone out. Gargoyle's ready. Stick on all Elisha medals for this. Don't need any Arnus, anything like that. Splash damage boosted by all allies attack at first. for most people, it's going to be very easy to just wipe out the enemy with a single gargoyle blast and pick off somebody else with Charleston or the second gargoyle, whichever happens first. So, have you got any yellow? Yes. When you cast Charleston, you're going to create absolutely stacks of brown. There's gargoyle. There's the splash damage. Boost is 146. For me, it will vary from player to player. Cast it on the troop in the middle to benefit the most from that splash damage. And on to the next. Last one before we jump into the delve itself and show how this works. And how it absolutely smashes still, even on level 500. There you go. And even if your gargoyle didn't wipe them all out like my one did there, you've still got a second gargoyle sitting in there in reverse. In reserve even. To cast again. Right, let's copy this team into the faction itself. Let's just do that. Alright, now let's show how this team works in Duergaroth itself on the hardest level. Horde level is only low on this, 115, but this team will absolutely obliterate. That's the team, that's the faction team I'll use to do this. Very straightforward. I think this one was. Let's bung this team in. And show how we smash still, even on level 500. But this time it's different. You have to cast Mang first now to benefit from all the extra skull power we get. And that powers up our gargoyle to extreme levels at the same time. Right, so Mang's ready. We'll absolutely cast Mang first. Don't have to worry about things like that. The cool thing about this as well is we have impact. Inflict stun when enemies deal skull damage to me. The funny thing is, even though we've got a barrier and we don't actually take skull damage, it still affects them. That will still get knocked out of its stun, of its traits. So we'll leave them that skull hit. We'll concentrate on bashing them anyway. They didn't take the skull hit, but they did afterwards. And you can take out that top troop. Well, we got lucky with a skull hit. But now our boost on gargoyle has gone really, really high. If you want to then cast with a Charleston to get both gargoyles up, you absolutely can. You can cast Mang again if you like. I should have done that actually. There you go. Those skull hits absolutely devastating. Gargoyle, massive boost. Made short work of him. I think I could have done that a little bit more efficiently. My head's still not entirely with it due to this annoying cold. I don't think it's COVID thing. I don't feel rough enough for that. I feel pretty bad, but from what I've heard from people that had COVID, proper COVID, I don't think I'm not at that level. Even though the version of COVID going around now is not as severe as it was a couple of years ago. But anyway, I think it's just a bad cold. Right, let's get excuse me. Charleston is ready, but cast Mang first. Start benefiting from this increased power. Don't care about that. There we go. That impact came into play again. Massive skull hit, really easy. If you want to increase your attack even more, you absolutely can. Let's do it again. If you want to take him out with Gargoyle in one go, you basically then would cast your Mang on the bottom troop again. So you've taken away the armor from the top and bottom troop, which means when you cast your Gargoyle, you put it on the middle troop, and you've got a chance of taking everybody out at the same time. But we've got 916 attack. We may as well use it. Alright, let's cast Gargoyle first on that troop. Then let's cast the second Gargoyle on the one underneath. We don't care about that because we get a barrier non-stop with this team, and then we can just finish them off with a single cast of Charleston. And this is on the hardest level. It's an absolute walk in the park. But now, just for fun, I'm going to get 1,000 attack on the last level and show how easy it is. And this will still work even if you're a newer player. That's what's cool, because the stats to Mang given to you basically by how powerful the enemy is. It completely works against them, the enemy being powerful. Right, we don't have a barrier right now. This is where you have to pay a little bit of attention. But as I say, you get rock solid. They take that, and they got stunned. But we got no damage. So really cool. Now, when you get in this situation where you can cast any of your troops, still recommend casting Charlestoni first. And the reason is you want to collect some brown to get the rock solid barrier back. We'll take that anyway because I don't want the enemy to have it. And now we will collect a decent amount of attack boost. Cast Charlestoni on the troop you took the armor away from. Cast Mang again on either the second opponent down or the one at the bottom, so you benefit from the splash damage. You don't want to take the armor away from this one, for example, because that's the one you're going to be casting Gargoyle on. There we go, we've got 1,000 attack now. Absolutely obscene. Excuse me. Right, let's chart this. The boost ratio is plus 449. Massive damage. We'll benefit from our 1,000 attack. Thank you very much. If you want to soften these up first with a Charleston, you can absolutely do that and see what happens regarding skull drops. If you get any lucky skull drops, it's going to just obliterate the enemy. Obviously, we can take this now and get a skull hit at the same time. See you later. See you later. And that gargoyle finish off. It's just so easy. It's kind of ludicrous. But there it is. There's the team. There's the video. Really nice, fun team to use and works even if you're a newer player as well. But there it is. If you enjoyed it, found this useful or helpful, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.